All right, welcome to the, I don't know, Brad. It's been so long. Is this still the Eyes and Ears podcast?
It's something. Let's call it the Ears and Eyes podcast. It's the second iteration.
We're switching things around, the Ears and Eyes podcast. But as you can see, there is a guest here with us. His name is Jeff Rauseo. I pronounced that right? Rauseo?
You nailed it. Yep.
Okay. We're having Jeff on because he is a lover of physical media. And when I first discovered Jeff, he was known as Films at Home on Instagram and YouTube. But now he just goes by his name because that's the cool thing to do. No offense, Brad.
Man, you put me on the spot. I got to change I've been thinking about it. I think I'm just going Brad. Just Brad.
Just
Brad. That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's gained a massive following. Gosh, I had it here in my notes. 457,000 followers on Instagram, a silver play button, and 137,000 subscribers on YouTube. Holy cow.
Wow.
And you've been...
What an accomplishment. That's crazy. That's...
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's doing the same thing, man. That's you're in it for the long haul. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you've been doing this almost 10 years. Was it 2016?
Yeah. YouTube started October. It's almost been 8 years on YouTube. I was on Instagram before that and doing a little writing before that. So it's been a solid decade of building to this. Yeah.
Wow. But I want to say that you really blew up, maybe a year and a half ago, if that?
Yeah, on Instagram for sure. YouTube had a nice increase when COVID hit, and I think people were home and just looking for stuff to watch. And a lot of people have told me they started collecting then too, just because there weren't any new movies. So they're like, well, let me go buy my favorites, get some old stuff. So YouTube kind of had a trajectory there, which slowly over the next couple of years got to 100K from probably 10 or 20. But the Instagram thing, I just had a couple of reels go off like crazy. And I literally woke up one morning I've had 20,000 followers on Instagram, which is a good amount, but I had that for 5 years and it hadn't moved much, a couple a day. And I posted something. I woke up the next morning and it was 50. And by noontime, it was 100,000. And I was like, holy shit, what am I going to do? And then I think that one reel got me into the mid 100K, and then another couple went off. And, it's all exponential. So once you crack the 100, then when the next one pops off, you've already got 100,000 built in. So going from 1 to 200 is easier than going from literally 1 to 100 followers. It's all exponential. So it just kind of took off. And every now and then one blows up and, you get another 20, 30,000 followers overnight. It's just wild. It's crazy. It's opened a lot of new doors though, which is cool.
Yeah. So you went from 20,000 to 150,000, just technically from one viral reel.
Yeah. In a week. Yeah.
Wow.
It was almost 2 years ago now. Cause I remember it was a horror movie type thing in October that picked up a ton of steam, and I think it had 20 or 30 million views or something ridiculous. And then I had a couple more go off. Once the thing with that is once you have one that goes viral, well then the next one you post is primed already to go semi-viral. So then you get, you build off of that. And then I've had a bunch of stinkers since then, but every now and then one pops off, and it was wild. I literally was like, holy shit, 100, and then 200, 300. I thought 100K on YouTube that was still my crowning achievement, but I don't know if I ever get to 1 million on Instagram. I feel like that's the equivalent of the 100K on YouTube. So YouTube's a lot harder.
My growth has been slow for sure, but
it was a grind.
Still trucking. Yeah. Jeff, I've brought you on because you have written a book called Lost in the Stream. I have read it. Just so you know, people watching this, I bought this with my own money. Jeff didn't give me one. I wanted to support my friend who is writing stuff about stuff that I love, stuff and more stuff.
I would have given you one, though. You're just a cool guy who said, I don't want one. I want to buy it. So I appreciate that. Dude. But you definitely earned one.
And I was totally surprised when I saw my name in this book. I was like, "Oh shit, there. That's me."
Yep.
So thanks for doing that. That's a cool shout out.
Yeah.
I can say.
I tried not to tell anybody. Like I tried to keep all those a surprise. So when people, like the people I knew would read it, are in there, and then I was hoping they just come across it like you did. It'd be kind of fun.
Have they all reached out to you?
A bunch, most of them have, yeah. It is kind of towards the end, so I don't think some people have gotten there yet. But
right.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people have. They've been like, "Oh, dude, I'm in here," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but yeah, it's pretty cool."
And it's also a way for you to know who actually read your book and who didn't.
True. That's why I put it on page.
That's really why. Yeah.
If I don't hear from them in a couple weeks, I'm going to assume they didn't read it.
They're dead to you.
Yeah. You've got a hit list, and you've crossed my name off. So
you're off the list.
Jimmy's putting lipstick on, and
right. So the subtitle is How Algorithms Redefine the Way Movies Are Made and Watched. And I mean, honestly, if you are a fan of physical media, like Jeff is, like I am, Brad is a fan of physical media as well. But not only that, but just a fan of movies, cinema, streaming, how it's all just coming down the pipeline these days, how we can consume things. Jeff's got some really good pointers on, tips and tricks on like, well, you're not going to really be in a good mood if all you do is just sit on the couch and just be like, well, what are we going to watch tonight? And then you go to Netflix and you see all the stuff that's recommended shoved in your face. That's just not going to end up being a very happy experience most of the time. So Jeff's got some really good pointers on how to avoid that, or at least how to make it more curated to what you want to watch, and also some free access that you can get to movies you might not have been aware of, but also like it goes in a little bit about the economics of things and how streamers make money and how they're kind of changing the landscape of how cinema really is viewed these days, and how going to movie theaters is still not exactly, I don't even know if it will ever become the same as it was before COVID, because a lot of things are going to need to change. And I mean, sadly, COVID changed everything for the better or for worse, or however you want to look at it. But that's one thing I wanted to hit on, though, that you made a really good point about in the book, is the fact that we may see in the future, just because the first few weeks, any film is in a movie theater, there's a 50-50 split on profit as far as what the theater makes and what the studio makes. But then the longer it's in the theater, the more the theater will make, less the studio will make. So you brought up how we could see a future where there are quote unquote Netflix theaters or Sony theaters, like these big studios behind all these movies that are coming out might just get a little greedy and want all the profits from beginning to end and create their own, maybe buy out some theaters or theater chains. And that way they just reap all of the profits for themselves. Yeah. And they don't have to split anything with anybody. I don't know. You want to kind of touch on that a little bit more? Like I thought that was really interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah. So there's I mean, so part of that is it is already happening. So like Sony bought Draft House. So like Sony does own a theater chain now, technically. Like that's their revenue. They purchased them. Netflix does have a couple of theaters in LA and New York, mostly for like awards screenings that they're eligible. They do own a couple places. And when I was looking at it, I was just looking at like revenue of an AMC, like AMC, Cinemark, Regal, like those are probably your three biggest. And like AMC was the biggest at $4.5 billion a year annual revenue. And like Disney was, don't quote me on, I think they were like over 100 billion. I mean, it was these theater chains are dropping the bucket for somebody like Apple. That's like what, a $500 billion a year, whatever it was. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. It's a tiny percentage. They could buy them tomorrow. And then they own the whole thing. They own the distribution. They own the films. They make the content, and then they go and distribute it on their own platform. So you got a full funnel revenue stream. The reason that that's not happening right now is actually because way back in the day, the early days of movie theaters, that's what used to happen. And they kind of like monopoly busted it and they broke that up. There's like old court cases from way back when that happened. And it feels like they're trying to get back to that a little bit. I mean, all signs point to that. Even a Sony, like with what they make on electronics and everything else, they're making so much more money than a movie theater chain. It was easy for them to buy Draft House, and now they just have this premium theater chain that they own. So it feels like that's what they want to do, especially the tech companies, which aren't the studios. So any of the studios that had to become tech companies to build a streaming service, they're struggling. But the tech companies that became a movie studio, like a Netflix and Apple, Amazon, like they're so flush with cash, they could do this tomorrow. And you could knock out even Paramount. Paramount Plus is like 30 billion a year. Lionsgate's nowhere close. Like unless you are that upper tier and you sell something other than movies right now, you probably couldn't buy them out. So it feels like those companies are positioning themselves. There's been talks, there's been rumors of Apple buying an AMC, buying the whole chain, buying them out. And you have to imagine just like for what reason other than just to own that revenue. I don't think they're buying it for the real estate where a lot of those AMCs are. So it's, it's clearly so that they can build something from this content. When they spend 200 million on a movie, they actually have theaters they can show it in instead of trying to make that back on subscriptions. Like you can get the full revenue that is probably what a lot of them need to make streaming profitable. Because when you pay Scorsese to make Killers of a Flower Moon, I don't think they're making any money on the $10, $12 a month Apple TV. They're not making enough new signups to cover that. So they have to have another way to make that money back, or they'll just stop doing it, which is the other theory, is they'll cut the budgets dramatically, which they already are sort of doing. You're not going to see those types of movies. You're never going to see, I think it was Andor, the creator of Andor said like, Disney told me streaming's dead. Like I'll never ever get that kind of budget for a TV show ever again. Like that was it. You're never going to see an Andor again. It will be a movie or it won't exist. So it is starting to shift, but the whole theater chain thing is my little, I don't know. It's my conspiracy theory, but it also just makes way too much financial sense. If they can get away with it, they can definitely afford it. So it's just a matter of, can they get away with doing it? And I mean, these days, it sure feels like you can get away with whatever you want. So I'm sure no one's going to fight them on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it seems like I don't know if I'm, at least right now, I'm not very comfortable with the future if it goes that direction where there is literally, maybe there's like a theater district of some downtown metropolis area that has a Netflix theater here, and across the street is a Paramount Plus theater, and like et cetera, et cetera. Like that would just seem super weird to me, but who knows?
It doesn't sound crazy though, right? When you think about it,
it doesn't.
It doesn't sound crazy.
Yeah. It kind of grosses me out in a weird way to think about walking down the street and be like, oh, do you want to go see that new Netflix movie at the Netflix art house cinema or whatever. It's like, it just doesn't even, I'm like, it doesn't sit well with me. I'm just like, I mean, but that it does make sense, unfortunately. Like it doesn't, like, it doesn't mean it necessarily would happen, but like you said, it's like they could do it. People get away with everything these days. So like companies, especially. So like, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Or just even, I think about it. I'm like, they could buy AMC, and what they would do is they probably close 80% of them. Yeah. Because they're just dead real. They're not making any money. Keep the other 20% and have, like you said, like these theater districts that are only in big cities. And now people have lost access potentially. Yeah, we've already seen so many local theaters and even the chain theaters in smaller towns that just can't survive anymore, closed down. So, I mean, there's that kind of capitalistic, like the private equity move where you just buy it all and gut it and then take the good parts out of it.
Yeah. I do. I saw your reel the other day about how you're liking this new trend of having your tentpole, new movies come out in the theater and have their theatrical run, where simultaneously you're also having a lot more anniversary releases of older movies. Since you gave the example of Jaws 50th anniversary coming out in theaters, and the fact that it made, what is it, 10 million or something over the weekend?
It was like 10 million. It was number 2 at the box office. Yeah. I mean, a slow weekend, but still a 50-year-old movie that everybody has seen, that had a re-release a couple years ago in 3D and IMAX already. Like, it was pretty recent. It wasn't like this was brand new either. Still made $10 million in a weekend. That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, that kind of goes to I guess we can transition to this topic that I had in mind, is that, the big C word, content, is like a 4-letter word to me. Because I mean, content just sounds so much lower than, cinema and art and what really should be fueling. Yeah, it's like it diminishes what these artistic minded people are doing, who have brilliant, artistically driven motivations. And I mean, I think of Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina. I'm really starting to gravitate a lot towards his stuff lately, because I don't know, it's just kind of evolving where it's like, oh, wait, he did that, or he was involved in that, or he wrote that or directed that. Like, just, he's really coming into my radar nowadays. And like, just to think that somebody like Alex Garland exists right now, who is making top tier quality art, to have that be considered content once it hits streaming platforms, just, it rubs me the wrong way, because he's got such an incredible vision. One thing I really like about Alex Garland is that not only can he tell a story so well, but he really is a stickler for good sound design, which, obviously I just gush over, because that's my thing. I love sound design. And I mean, Brad can say the same thing. We're just really into good sound design, good sound mixes. The other day, I just, I don't know if you're familiar with RO3D. It's like the other immersive audio.
I'm only familiar because of you. Yeah, you've told me about this. Yeah.
Right. So you cannot get native RO3D 4K discs in America. But I am luckily friends with somebody who works at RO3D, because they're out of, I think it's like Belgium or the Netherlands or something. And so every once in a while, he'll send me a 4K Blu-ray with a native RO3D mix on it. And a lot of the times it'll have RO3D and a Dolby Atmos mix. So it's kind of cool being able to compare those two. But he sent me recently Warfare, which Alex Garland and some other guy wrote and directed. And again, Civil War and Warfare have some of the best sound design I have heard in a long time.
Yeah.
And it just blew me away. I mean, you can see it behind me. I have an insanely stupid big system behind me. You know, it's such a small office, but I've got so many speakers because, you know, just I want to test things out, whatever. But hearing that movie in this office theater was such a great time. And like, I don't know, just to I want to convey that to so many people out there that like you're really missing out if you're just streaming something on your television and you're just you're listening through the TV speakers, and B, you're just watching it on streaming when you probably could have, I mean, depending on what title it is or show or whatever, you probably could have it on physical media and have a better audio video experience. And I don't know, man, it's just it just makes me sad that like so many people nowadays are so comfortable with just being able to stream something, and they're just like, yeah, it was cool, I liked it, I didn't like it, let's move on to the next thing.
Well, I don't know how it is for you guys, because Jeff, I know you have like a SVS system in your, so like, you know, Elon and I don't have Elon's crazy setup that you see behind him, but I have like all Aperion audio speakers, and I do have 6 subs, so there's that. But no, there's something about like watching something on your phone. Like my sister watches everything on her phone most of the time. She just says, she's like, oh, just watch Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, how'd you on your phone? And I'm like, how? To me, it's like, okay, right? Like there is something when you're enveloped like in a movie, visuals and sound kind of come together, and it's like I've enjoyed movies that have just gotten dog shit ratings and dog shit reviews because I'm like, you know what? It was still a good experience to me. It may not be the greatest movie, but man, it sounded good. You know, or you know, and it really brings you in and sucks you in. And I think that like there's something to that a lot of people are missing just by streaming it through TV speakers. Or, I mean, obviously an upgrade to that would be like a sound bar or something. But even like just before you got on, Jeff, Elon and I were talking about, and I didn't know this until recently, that when you stream Dolby Atmos, it actually limits the bandwidth of the height channels severely. To, I don't know, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I talked to Matt Pose about this, who's kind of renowned in the home theater design industry, and he's very, very knowledgeable. But there's a lot of information that is just simply either super compressed or not there in the height channels. So when you watch something like Top Gun Maverick over Apple TV and then you put in the disc, it's a different experience. You know, so you're missing out on a lot, just on the audio side. You're missing out on so much information. And you know, my little conspiracy theory is I think that they take these near field mixes that they already make for the 4K Blu-rays or whatnot, and they compress them even further so they sound good on sound bars and TVs and stuff for streaming services. So it's just like you're not, streaming is about one thing and one thing only, and that's convenience, right? That's it. Like it's to have access at your fingertips to anything you can kind of think of at any given moment. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that is the pro of it all, is the convenience and the access it gives you and the access it gives to filmmakers. And you can get a film in front of millions of people far easier now than you could 20, 30 years ago. But yeah, you don't have that. You mentioned like there is a distinct difference between content and film. And we've kind of accepted, a lot of people have accepted like mediocrity and just like Happy Gilmore 2 is a movie, but it's content. And
Yeah.
Civil War or Warfare is a movie, and that's a film, and that's cinematic. There's a difference. It can still be 2 hours long and not be a cinematic experience. I think about a lot of the stuff that comes to streaming is that way. Like, just because you make it the length of a movie doesn't make it cinematic. It doesn't make it a film. And if you don't see it in a movie theater, which I'm a huge proponent of, like you said, I don't think I've seen a single movie like in a movie theater and been like, that sucked, because you just get sucked into the experience. Even if the movie is bad, you're like, that was still a cool experience.
The sucks. And
unless
there's
the
like
theater sucks, which is
your left wall, there's a rip in the screen, and you're
I wrote about that in the book. Yep.
Oh man,
I've had many of them. When I saw Civil War in IMAX, the projector was shot at the IMAX theater. So it sounded great. It looked like garbage. So yeah, that can ruin it. But yeah, you just don't. And you're right. Your conspiracy theory is like not even a conspiracy theory. Like, I'm pretty sure this is proven true that they do now mix stuff, assuming 98% of people are listening through a soundbar or through TV speakers. And so that's why people always message me and they're like, what's wrong with my stuff? Like, the dialogue will be super loud, and then the next scene I can't hear the music. I turn it up, and then the dialogue blasts me. And I'm like, yeah, because they're just cranking like center channels so that you can make sure you hear everything, because otherwise it's going to get drowned out with just a TV speaker or a sound bar. Everything is so central that they have to do that. So then you turn it up to hear the little intricacies in the movie, and you blow your speaker when they go back to dialogue scenes.
Like, oh yeah,
it's like you need a balanced sound. So again, it's a movie. Does that happen with Happy Gilmore 2? Probably not. Not to dump on Happy Gilmore 2, but like, you can probably watch that at the same volume the whole way through, because it's mixed to watch at home. It just doesn't matter. And a movie has that. It has a sound mix. It has things you need to experience at a certain quality. You can't watch it on your phone and experience a movie. You may have watched the movie, but you didn't really watch it. You just kind of sat through it. And there's, I don't know, the whole like not being intentional about what people watch nowadays is what kind of drives me a little nuts. And it's not like everyone needs to go to the theater every week, but like, I've even done it for my own kids recently. I literally have a CRT VHS TV VCR combo.
No way.
Coming to my house tomorrow that I paid for somebody to ship to me, because I wanted them. I was tired of them just sitting in front of the flat screen and just being like, put this on again and put this on. And now they know how to open Netflix, and it's mindless. So I got them a bunch of VHS tapes, and I said, here's your movie collection. You're going to be able to put them in yourself, make a choice, be intentional, and sit down and watch it, because you can't just flip to the next thing in 2 seconds. You need to get up and take the tape out. And you know what they found is like, they actually watch the TV less. Their attention span is still, they're only 3 and 4. So like, attention span isn't there, but they could watch a Bluey, nothing against Bluey, but like, they could watch it for 3 hours and it's mindless. And this, maybe after 45 minutes, they actually get bored and they go do something else, and they come back in, and there's just some intentionality to it all. And I feel the same way when I sit down and pick something from the collection versus just watch something on a stream. And I love the streaming shows. There's plenty of them that I watch. There's plenty of great stuff out there. It's just a balance of not going 100% on, like, my kids are still going to watch Bluey, but I'm also giving them this opportunity to have the Disney VHS collection I had, and they can choose if they want to watch The Lion King or Aladdin, and like, they have fun with it. They're actually experiencing something, instead of being like, Dad, put on a movie, and it's like whatever pops up. So there is a difference, just like in your brain, when you make that decision between mindless and between intentional viewing. And I think everyone's just gone mindless, and now it's even worse, because it's mindless plus a second screen. It's not only are you being mindless, but you've got your phone or your tablet with you, and my mom does this, and if she listens, she'll probably laugh, but like, I was like, when's the last time you watched a movie and you weren't playing Candy Crush throughout the whole thing? Like,
oh my gosh.
And she sits there and watches them, and every now and then she looks up, and I'm like, you're like not really watching this, but she'll be like, oh, I watched that movie. No, you watched. It's like watching a TikTok video where they play the video game in the bottom half and the videos in the top half. You know what I mean? Like those stupid TikTok. And I'm like, you're watching half Candy Crush and half movie. So neither one of these things are good. Pick one. Like, I don't even care if you want to go all in on the Candy Crush, but go all in on it and make a decision. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's rough. And now that's what, that's why they're creating content instead of movies, because they need content for second screen, for casual people, for people who don't care. Happy Gilmore 2 gets 1 billion watch hours, but could anybody actually tell you like
what happened in it?
What happened? Or like, is anybody talking about it now, less than 3 weeks after it came out or whatever? Like, it's gone. It goes out and it disappears. Then you're on to the next thing that's mindless. So it's just not, it's the difference between that and a film like Weapons, which is in its 5th week and still #1 at the box office. There's a real, there's something there. It's cinematic. It has driven a conversation and has captured the culture like Sinners did, like Oppenheimer and Barbie did. Like, and it doesn't always have to be an original movie. It can be a Barbie and still capture the attention of people and hold people in a theater. And like, there's just not enough of that. And there's too much content. And I contribute to it. Like, listen to me sitting here talking about too much content. I make a video on Instagram and TikTok every day, but there truly is too much. Like, I don't watch it all. I probably only watch a handful of people myself, like, because I just can't keep up. So I appreciate everybody who watches me, but you're probably watching too many people, to be honest. Like, you should pick a few and focus and go watch something else too. I don't know. It's a weird world that we're in right now, where it's the convenience and the mindlessness of everything has outweighed any sort of like artistic value. It's happening in music, it's happening in movies, it's happening to books, it's happening everywhere, every piece of media.
Yeah, it's funny because for years I've tried to figure out how to describe these 30-year sequels that we get, like Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah,
and it's perfect. Like, content is what it is. When you watch it, you're like, there was just none of what was in the original other than the character names, and maybe some callbacks to that are there. And it's like, I don't really want a Billy Madison 2. I don't want a Happy Gilmore 2. Like, to me, it's like they're just ticking there. It's 100% kind of fan service to a point, but also there's no real emotion or feeling of what made the original so great. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, we're going to make a lot of money with this.
Yeah, and it has a name that people recognize, so it's easy to sell, and it's, there probably will be and that's the thing, is like, I love Happy Gilmore and I love Billy Madison and I love all the Adam Sandler stuff. And hey, if I was in his shoes, I'd probably do the same thing. If Netflix is going to throw a bag at me for me to go play golf in Hawaii with my friends for a couple months, I'm going to do it too.
I mean,
like, it's stupid money that he's getting. I would do the same thing, but I think even he would say there's probably a difference between Happy Gilmore and Happy Gilmore 2. It feels like like when the Friends reunion happened. It's like a reunion show and not an actual sequel or continuation. It's just kind of like another thing for fans, and that is fine, but that's content. It's not a movie.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of cringe every time someone mentions the Goonies, the new Goonies movie to me that they're possibly making, and I'm like, I don't really want to see it. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
The track record is not great.
Right.
It's not a great thing. We're talking about 40 years into the future now, pretty much. So. Well,
and you're talking about like maybe 1 out of every 10 of these legacy sequels being worth much, and this is the new thing. It's not even just the sequel franchise; it's the legacy sequel. Yeah. And there are good ones. There are ones that I've enjoyed that are actually original and offer something new, but it's like 9 out of 10 are just it's fan service.
Man,
it's tough. That's why I love the Alex Garlands, the Denis Villeneuves, the Christopher Nolans, the Zach Cregers and Robert Eggers and Ari Aster. And like, if you're gonna go and take a shot, even if your movies don't always land, like, at least you're taking a shot. At least you're doing go the Scorsese, the Spielberg route. Like, how many sequels has Spielberg even made? Like, not many. Other people make sequels off of his movies, but like, he's on to the next original thing that he wants to create. Even when he's doing something like Indiana Jones, like, at least all of them are pretty fresh of the first 3. And then when they started getting crazy, he was like, I'm good. Like, I'll take my residuals, but I'm not getting involved. I don't know where that went. Those guys are still out there. And there's women like Catherine Bigelow, who's constantly doing original stuff, or it's Sofia Coppola, like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it feels like they're not getting the attention, which is why I'm happy that a film like Weapons has that staying power and is original and is doing something different. But it really does feel like if it's not a horror movie, it's not selling the tickets either, which is a weird phenomenon in and of itself. Like it has to be original and horror, or you can't even be Darren Aronofsky, put out Caught Stealing. It comes in third place behind Jaws. I mean, that movie,
right.
That movie's dead in the water now, and that's a big time original filmmaker. So
yeah,
it's hard out there.
Yeah, man. Well, that's kind of a good segue. I know you've got limited time here, so I want to bring this last topic up before you need to head out. But just talking about convenience, talking about how everybody has this mentality right now of, oh, I'll just wait till it comes on streaming instead of going to see it in the theaters. Mm-hmm. So I proposed this idea on Threads one day, like just replying to a comment that, we should delay the streaming release at least 6 months. Maybe even just have the physical media in like maybe on demand, like you have to actually digitally purchase or rent it, but that doesn't even come out until 6 months after its theatrical release, and maybe a year later, that's when it actually comes up on streaming. Mm-hmm. And I just want to read one of the responses that I got. This guy just says, nah, it's not that kind of world anymore. Attention spans are far shorter. By the time a trend or video goes viral, everyone's already forgotten it and moved on to the next thing. Same for films. Capitalize in a short time before people forget and move on to the next. And like, I don't agree with that at all.
No.
Because when you make something that is purely cinematic, that is driven with artistic intention, it will be timeless. Just like a Jaws, just like a Jurassic Park. Like, that's what he said is true with the content being thrown into theaters nowadays. But if you are really just doing it for art's sake, like, even if it's delayed 6 months or a year before it comes out on streaming, once it actually does come out on streaming, then people will be like, oh yeah, finally, like they're looking forward to it because it was so good during its theatrical run. Like, I just don't agree that everybody's just going to forget everything as soon as it's not in theaters anymore. It's like, no, it's going to have a lasting impact if it's this cultural phenomenon. So like, and it also just recently, now that Thunderbolts is on Disney Plus and anybody with a Disney Plus subscription can stream Thunderbolts, I'm seeing so many comments on Threads about people saying like, oh man, I didn't realize Thunderbolts was so good. I wish I would have seen it in theaters. And it's like, so many people told you while it was in theaters that it was good and you still chose not to see it. So like, there's still just this disconnect. I mean, I don't know if you want to speak on that about like, I don't know. Would you have a way of like kind of coming to a middle ground of delaying it a certain amount or what?
I mean, I think that's what they need to get back to, whether it is even 3 months or 6 months or, whatever, 3 months till you can rent it at home, 6 months till it's actually streaming somewhere, essentially for free with your subscription. But that is the truth of that. The bad thing is like they've trained people to be that way now. So you have to untrain the world, because they are just going to say, what do it's 4 weeks I can watch Superman at home. I got to run out to the theater. If I'm not a hardcore Superman fan, no, I'm just going to wait and I'm going to watch it at home. Versus 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, like people would have been out in the theaters in week 5, 6, 7, because that was the way to see it. So they've lost their whole like the anticipation of waiting for a movie to release at home, the buildup that creates. You've lost word of mouth because word of mouth cannot build in a weekend. The people who love movies like us can tell you Thunderbolts is great, but we're all talking to each other who are all movie fans first. So that message needs to get out there in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like, I don't think people realize how, like, these movies used to, like, movies like Halloween or Jaws that were these like sensations, like they weren't overnight sensations.
No.
they started like Halloween was playing in theaters a year after it released the next Halloween because it was still making its way around. Like Jaws was playing in theaters for a year as it made its way around the country because they didn't used to do the wide release all at once. You would stagger it. You would go different locations and then spread it out if word of mouth was good. So now it's just, they've trained people to expect that. So, and then they wonder, why is the box office down? Well, because people know it's coming to Paramount Plus and it's coming to HBO Max and it's coming to Disney Plus. You have all these services. You're already paying for the services. You know you're going to get it. So when you train people to do that, they're not going to go to the theater unless they love the theater, and you're losing that part of it. But the other kind of, I'll call it dumb, short-sighted thing that they all did was to try to follow the Netflix or Hulu model, or they're really the first two that I think of when it comes to streaming and what streaming was like when it first started. You had Netflix and you had Hulu, and they were putting out TV shows they were dumping them all at once. It's not a whole lot different than competing with like cable TV in the 70s and 80s and sitcoms that showed every week and had this kind of like, it was more immediate. And people could see their 25 episodes of a show and watch it for half of a year. And they were always in the conversation. But like by trying to compete with that, you're cannibalizing every movie because you're just trying so hard to make the next one out. We got 2 weeks and we need the next one. We need the next one. Instead of letting anything build up, giving the audience any anticipation, any excitement. Like, this is why people talked about movies for years and years after they came out, because people are actually still discovering them. Now they've become such a throwaway item because they're competing with like whatever the new reality TV show that Netflix has out that's viral right now. They're all trying to go viral, but like a movie isn't, it doesn't go viral like that. And the conversation is longer and it's a piece of art. Like it doesn't, it's not so disposable that in 2 weeks it's hit or miss, but that's what they do. It's home run or strike out. If you don't hit a home run in the first 2 weeks, kill it, put it on streaming.
So crazy.
That's it. Like movies never even get a chance to breathe anymore. So they've really screwed up the whole ecosystem. It's really the studio's fault for trying to compete with Netflix, which is really, to me, is cable TV 2.0 and is not a movie studio.
Oh yeah.
So like they're making made for TV movies. That's what they're making the equivalent of. So like they are not a movie studio that you compete with. They kind of tried it. They had some success with they've kind of fallen off of that because they realized how hard it was and how it wasn't making them any money. So they went back to Love is Blind and whatever else is coming out, Love Island and all this other stuff. That's what they do. And that's how they make their money. So why compete with that? You're in a different lane almost.
Yeah. It's almost like if you look at the history of cinema and film, we have all these movies over the years that maybe, however you want to say it now, have like entered the zeitgeist or have become like these cultural phenomenons, but they may have not done well at all when they first theatrically released. I mean, they're, cult classics, as we call them, movies like, I don't think Monster Squad did well when it came out. And it was only when it hit video, it like exploded. And there's a whole second life to these things that now, because we're treating them like throwaway things, a lot of these movies just don't have a second life opportunity anymore. And that sucks because a lot of people, if they look at the movies that they truly love, they'll realize, oh wow, that movie bombed when it came out. And I don't know, I was a kid, I didn't realize that, and the movies you come to love are the movies that like define you, are like if they came out today, they wouldn't define anybody because they're just thrown away like, oh yeah, that movie sucked, on to the next, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. They're all just trying to go viral in 1 week. And yeah, there is that no second life thing is also, that's why when the subtitle of the book is like, not only how we watch them, but the types of movies that get made, is because you don't have a second life anymore. So they can't take any risks. Like you can't, you used to be able to, Nick Swardson was on a podcast talking about Grandma's Boy. And like, hey, it kind of bombed in the movie theaters, but hey, we made $100 million on DVD sales. So like we all made money. Yeah. Like a movie like that can make $100 million on DVD sales and become this big rental video phenomenon. Like you can't do that anymore. So that would have been thrown in the trash. That would have been buried. Who knows? Like the other scary thing is like, who knows if it would have even been on the streaming service, because if nobody's watching it, they just can the thing and take it off.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers and Paramount, all these guys that have streaming services, they don't even have half their own catalogs on these services.
Right.
It's so curated to what they think is going to get you to sit there and watch. So you're missing out half of their own movies, which is crazy. But that's what would happen. Who knows? It'd be a write-off and they'd be like, toss it, throw it in the bin. It's done.
Right.
And
that's Batgirl or whatever that was.
Yeah. Batgirl, the Looney Tunes movie that got canceled and saved, the Acme Coyote movie that they saved recently. Like, that probably happens more than we even hear about. Or stuff gets, 3/4 of the way done and they can it. And especially if it's not a well-known filmmaker. I mean, it's just a weird, sad, disposable world where everything does feel disposable. And I think that's what people are going to start to push back on, because it isn't just movies. Like I drive a truck from 2007 because I'm like, it's a nice Toyota from 2007 and I know it's nice. And I think the new ones are junk and they're disposable and they cost 3 times as much. And like, I want a car with like metal handles and like, buttons that click and like stuff that feels real and not plastic. And like, there's everything. Like people can't own houses anymore. So you get, pushed into these apartments that they charge you way too much for, that are just covered in white paint and, the landlord special. Like everything in life has just become like this disposable, rentable, throwaway type deal. And movies is what's closest to me, but it really, I see it. Toys, I mean, kids' toys. If you guys have kids, like the toys, forget it. Like those are such junk compared to what you used to be able to get. Even my toys from the 90s that were like action figures, like they had a little solid feel to them. I get them now. It's like, this is junk. Everything is just junk. And I feel like an old man yelling at the clouds, but like, like it is. Everything's gotten.
It's so true though.
Everything's been made cheaper, but also costs more than ever. And I think people are just going to like, at a certain point, we've got to all push back, because you vote with your wallet. And if you stop buying the cheap crap and you stop just mindlessly consuming the cheap content and you stop just giving into all of this, they'll have to change, because if the profits go down, trust me, it's the quickest way to change anything in this world is to see profits go down. So it's really the only option we have. And so everyone just has to be kind of more intentional the way they approach this stuff and think about where your money's going. If you're spending $100 a month on streaming services, how much are you actually watching? I think I talked about it in the book. Like you could buy 25 Blu-rays at a pawn shop or a used store, or even off of Amazon. They're $6 or $7 a piece. Are you even watching 20 movies a month? Cancel the streaming services and buy the stuff you want to watch. Spend that money at a movie theater and go see something. Go see a repertory screening of something you haven't seen before. Like, you're throwing away money for what? Like, I guarantee most people are not getting the value out of all these services they feel like they have to subscribe to. So that's the pushback. I'm not pushing for cancel streaming and kill streaming and death to streaming. Like some people, I mean, that's out there. I'm just like, give me a balance. Just give me more of a balance. Give me movie theaters, home video, physical media, and this new streaming thing. But stop going 90-10 on streaming and leaving everything else to die. That's all I want.
Yeah, I liked how Netflix came out with K-pop Demon Hunters in the theater over a weekend. I mean, might as well. And it made like 20 million or something.
It was #1 at the box office, made 25 million in a slow weekend. I think I put on Thread, I was like, if they put every episode of Stranger Things in an IMAX theater, they'd probably make $50 million off each episode. They make $100 million off the finale. Like, they're all an hour and a half long. They're kind of movies. Like, why not give people probably want that and they don't even know they want it because they'll never get it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been taken away, which is, I don't know. It's crazy. It's a weird world to live in right now. And I feel like I do feel hopeful though, that like there is some transition coming. I see younger kids who are buying VHS tapes and I'm like, see those kids, the kids who are 20 right now never had a choice. This is what they were given. They don't even remember what we had growing up. Like they just grew up in this and that's why they're pushing back so hard against it. That's why they're buying CDs and cassette tapes and vinyl records and buying VHS and DVDs and VCRs. And like, they're pushing back against the fact they were raised completely digitally with no, it feels like you don't have a choice. It's like an illusion of choice.
Yeah.
There's more choice than ever, but like, you don't really have a choice. It's some algorithm that's telling you what you're going to watch next. And it's, messing with your brain to get you to do that.
This is what you want.
Exactly. Honestly.
Gone are the days calling the movie theater to figure out like what movies we're playing. And
I know, dude.
Like, what?
Movie phone.
Oh, man, we missed it. It's too late.
Yeah, or just showing up and being like, let's see it's a Friday night. Let's just see what's going on at 8 o'clock. Like, no, it's gone. It's gone. There's none of that discovery anymore. And I think that's what some of the younger generations are finding that they're lacking. There's just any sort of self-guided discovery in the world. Everything is just pushed to them through an algorithm.
Yeah, I do have hope for our young kids.
I have hope.
So hopefully it comes to fruition. Well, I know you've got to run, Jeff. Once again, Lost in the Stream. Get it anywhere books are sold, pretty much.
Pretty much anywhere, You
online
can ask
or
your
even in
bookstores to order it.
Yeah.
Bookstores can order it. It's at like bookshop.org if you want to buy it and support an indie bookstore. That's a great way. I mean, it's Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Hamilton Book. It's Bull Moose. It's everywhere. Every store out there should have access to it if you ask. So go support the local store. The ebooks out there and the audiobook should be coming soon too.
Is it you narrating?
I wish it was. I wish it was. There's some contract with voice actor. I mean, I give them credit. They're giving it to like union voice actors who do audiobooks.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So like, apparently if I had ever been in a TV show or a movie and had a SAG card, it would have been much easier to get me to do my own. And that's why like a lot of celebrities do their own because they're already part of the unions. So good. It's given a job to somebody, but maybe I'll get to do the next one. Someone's going to put me in a movie. That's all. I'll just be in the background. Like, doesn't have to be anything special. Just throw me in the back.
There you go.
Just be in a horror movie because you're already kind of technically producing some. So
I help produce. Okay, I mean, I'll get killed in a horror movie. Go ahead, set me up. I don't care. Set me up, knock me down.
What's David F. Sandberg working on next? We'll just reach out to him and see.
Tell him. What's his Pony Smasher?
Pony Smasher. Yeah.
Yep. He goes way back. He sent me my first ever Blu-ray review.
Did he? Did he really?
It was Lights Out. I'll always remember Lights Out was the first one I ever reviewed.
Dude, I enjoyed that movie.
He hooked it up.
The hell out of it.
So I got big appreciation for him.
Dang. Well, thanks for your time, Jeff. I think Brad and I are going to stay on here and probably talk a little bit about a couple other topics, but pleasure having you. Again, congratulations on the book too. I mean, I know it's no small feat to write a book amongst all the other stuff going on. So yeah, it's awesome.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Everyone like you guys who's helping me get the word out, and hopefully it means they'll let me write a second one. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll see. So far, so good. So
put it out there.
If you buy it, thank you. And if you can leave a review after you buy it, that helps a ton too. Apparently, I'm learning all this stuff. So
true.
Goodreads, Amazon reviews, whatever. No matter where you leave the review, it all helps. Unfortunately, boost the algorithm. So thank you. We got to play to the algorithm to sell the book. So people can learn how to get out of the algorithms. It's a fun little game we're playing.
Right.
But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining.
You have a good night. And thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
See you.
I can say that like the cost of entry is kind of crazy for Kaleidoscape. Like I think that's the biggest barrier most people have, but the actual like media price of the movies you can buy. And I know this is a physical media centric not live stream, pre-record, whatever.
Right.
But the thing with Kaleidoscape is it does give you the full like quality. Sometimes they say slightly slightly better than the disc, but I mean that's
because they say it is the mezzanine file.
Yeah.
So that's even less compressed, as far as I know, than what's on the disc.
I mean, would you still be able to tell the difference though? That's the main. I guess my point there was the hardware has a cost associated with it, which is high, obviously.
Yeah.
But the actual, like when you go to buy a movie, yes, you don't get a physical disc. However, if you're spending $20-$25 on a movie, you are getting the full quality that you would out of a disc.
Yeah.
Same audio quality, same video quality. You're not limited by whatever Apple TV decides to compress it to, or Netflix, or Vudu. Is Vudu even around anymore? I don't think so.
Fandango at home.
Oh, okay. Well, that's dumb. I forgot about that. But yeah, you get that. However, a lot of people are like, well, I can rent my own discs. And something that I never really talk about a lot is, and again, this came up when I was talking to Matt Pose about this, and it is because he's like a dealer integrator, he can sell you the hardware like an Arvolution or a Zidoo or whatever.
Yeah.
However, to actually rip the disc, it still requires you to defeat the DRM, digital rights management, on the disc. So like you are technically breaking the law still, even though it's a disc you may own, it's still against the law to do that. And so it's like kind of like this gray area. Like no one's going to stop you from doing it on your own. I mean, it's one thing if you're doing it for your own personal collection. It's another thing if you're doing it, making copies of the disc, sharing it around, selling it. That's totally illegal. But I think nobody's going to come after you if you're just making backups of your own discs, like I do. Like I would rather just go on my Arvolution, pick a movie that I own, and then play it that way. That way I don't have to like worry about like storing the disc and all that stuff. But
yeah,
my whole point of that was, it is a convenient feature of the Kaleidoscape that you can now buy these movies and download them, and you get the full quality, but it comes at a tremendous cost to most people that I think it's just completely like, it should not even be a factor. I think for most people, you're better off buying. I mean, hell, you can go on eBay or Amazon and buy a cheap 4K Blu-ray player that will do Dolby Vision, that will do HDR. I mean, you're probably going to spend between $100 and $200, right? Like, it's not going to be like a Magnetar top of the line type of guy where it's like, $800, $900, $1,200, however much it is. But you're also like, you're getting the best of everything. And honestly, the higher end stuff is going to be, I would say, if someone has just a relatively modest home theater, even kind of middle of the road, if you want to call it, they're not going to notice a difference between this. I mean, hell, they may even already have a player like a PS5 or a Series X. There you go. Just use that for right now.
Right.
You might not even be able to tell the difference. It's not like it used to be where like, it was kind of shitty and there were some issues. Most of the time, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox, they want to be your center, like we'll call it the centertainment hub, if you will. It's like they want it to be the central point of your room or wherever you put it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, but I think that, physical media, it really bummed me out when Best Buy stopped carrying physical media.
Yeah.
That, you people watching this, you remember it. It was all like this whole, like every news, like popular news, publication, online publication picked it up. The death of physical media. They were always like the death of physical media because Best Buy stopped carrying like physical media. And I really feel like that was just kind of jumping the gun. And I think Walmart has pared down their physical media a lot. Target, I think, completely got rid of it, but it's still out there and you could still buy it.
Yeah.
And as as many issues as I have with certain Christopher Nolan movies, I'm with him in that he prefers physical media. He's like, you know, a streaming service can't just decide we're not going to host this file anymore.
Yeah.
And now you don't have it. I'm actually seeing that with like even certain games. If you have not bought a game, like they've basically been delisted on the service, so you can't buy it through Steam. If you've bought it, you can still access it and download it. I feel like Steam is very kind of pro-consumer that way.
Yeah.
But you can no longer buy it. So I don't know if it has something to do with rights or something like that. So, but that is an issue because like we've all been there, right? You're like, oh, you know, I want to go catch up on that, you know, that season. I was like one season away from Parks and Rec, like finishing that. I go on Netflix. Oh, it's not. What? Where'd it go?
Yeah.
It's not on there anymore, you know? And it's because the rights were transitioning over to Peacock and Peacock was being launched. And
right.
So, yeah, I think streaming is unfortunately here to stay and there's ups and downs to it all. You know, I think we've kind of gotten away from cable, but now I feel like a lot of people are spending more than they ever did on cable to get all these streaming services.
Yeah.
You know, and piracy is still a thing. And I understand why people pirate stuff because all of this stuff is expensive and you want to share in that and with, you know, your coworkers or your family. And so they find a way to get access to something. I'm not like saying, oh, support piracy. You know, I think that because things have gotten so expensive and they're cracking down on password sharing and all that stuff, it's really become a thing where it's like, well, we don't want you to share this with anybody. Like we don't want you to share in this experience unless you pay us money, you know? And obviously like piracy and bootlegs and stuff, it's existed for many, many years.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere, you know?
There's always going to be people who pirate. It's just
and I'm just like, you know what? When you can afford it, I mean, buy stuff when you can, support the artists that you want to support, you know, and don't support people that you don't like or that you're like, I don't like that company. I'm not going to give them any more money. You know, that's your move. That's your prerogative. I try to support the things that I truly enjoy. Like, you know, my wife and we watched Superman a few days ago on streaming. Didn't really love it. Didn't really hate it. I was just like, oh, okay. It should have been called like Superman Guardians of the Galaxy Suicide Squad. Like it just, it felt like this weird like mixture and like some of it worked, some of it didn't. You know, we watched I think you saw Jurassic Park Rebirth in the
theater,
right? Yeah.
Because my girls were really wanting to see it. Yeah.
And you were like, man, I remember you told me, you're like, man, I don't know what the hell they did, but they did something. It was something. You know, there are parts of it that I liked, and then there were parts that I was just like, okay, you know, obviously this guy's the bad guy, that kind of thing. And there was a lot of moments where I'm like, I don't think that would be physically possible for those dinosaurs to just disappear. But it's, you know, it was nice to not have to see Chris Pratt in a movie. So that was
true.
That's always a plus.
I mean, it was content. It was
that's what it was.
Totally content. And I was like, Steven Spielberg, what a legacy he has. And this just did such a disservice to what he started because the first one is still just a masterpiece, really. Yeah.
And I mean, even by comparison, The Lost World is a masterpiece compared to the Jurassic Worlds and
I mean, if you take all, what is it, 7 now?
So many. They've reached Fast and Furious status, is what they're racing. To get what I did, racing to the finish line. I'll leave. It's fine. That's
it's like I know. When you compare all 6 or 7, Dominion. Yeah, there was Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Dominion. So it is number 7.
There's a 7. Rebirth is 7.
Geez. Yeah. So if you take all 7, I still think Lost World is probably number 2.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it definitely wasn't as good as the original, but it was still directed by Steven Spielberg. It still has some really cool moments.
Yeah.
And just like
And
these
Jeff Goldblum, like, I
grandiose
mean,
set pieces. Yeah, like
yeah. I don't know.
Jeff Goldblum was in his prime. I mean, like, I don't know when the last time you've seen Lost World, but like I'm a straight man, but he looked really good in the Lost World. I just watched it like a few months ago.
I like how you had to preface it with "I'm a straight man," but not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, he's a handsome dude. I liked him in the first Jurassic Park. I'm like, and now here I am talking to myself. And I was like, and still one of my favorite lines is, "That is one big pile of shit." Like that's just, I mean, classic Jeff Goldblum. And I think that he's just a genuinely nice guy. Like, if you ever meet him, he's just a nice dude and also a great pianist. Like he can play the piano, man. He's freaking good, man. It's, I have not seen The Lost World in a long time. And my wife loves dinosaurs. She loves the Jurassic World movies, and she is far from like, and she'll even like, so, she'll tell you she's not a cinephile. She's not someone who like can pick out things that, I'm always like looking for a boom mic reflection or like, or like, oh, that's a bad green screen, Wednesday, we watched the first half of Wednesday a couple weeks ago, like the first half of the season, and the digital airbrushing they did on Jenna Ortega's face is disgusting.
Oh no.
Like it's all like right here. And so like you can, and it stands out like a sore thumb. And Elon, I know you've used After Effects so much, and it's like they didn't even bother feathering the mask enough. Like it would just, it looks so terrible. I'm like, who did this? Like, and we watched the first episode of the second half of the season that just came out, and they've seemed to kind of dial it down a little bit. I think they got a lot of pushback on the first 4 episodes from that, which rightfully so. Honestly, she didn't need any airbrushing. We get it. It's like we know that she's not Wednesday Addams. I hate to tell people that. I was thinking that Friends episode where that one like crazy woman thinks that Joey is Drake Ramore, the doctor that he plays on the soap opera. And she's like, how are you there and here at the same time? It's like, I just saw you on TV. How'd you get here so fast?
Right.
Like we know that Tom Cruise, it's not Ethan Hunt. Like we know Tobey Maguire, not really Spider-Man. So I think that, there's just so much. The thing with, we didn't touch on what Jeff was here, but the thing with streaming is a lot of people don't realize this. And it's similar to like how kind of, I always think of like video games back in the day. You couldn't patch anything, right? Like you couldn't release a game on Sega Genesis and then patch it, through an internet update.
Right.
Well, they've made changes to movies on streaming services after they've come out. Stranger Things is one of them. They changed the Jonathan character in the first season from being like this kind of creep, like super really creep dude. Like there was a few shots that they either re-edited or removed to make him seem less creepy and less stalkery. Yeah. Look it up. It's out there. You can find out like what they did, because the DVDs exist and the Blu-rays exist. So like prior to those updates, this is how it was. But now when you watch it from season 1 on Netflix, you're seeing the new version. You have no option to see the old version.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So yeah. And I will say, I think that's one thing that Disney does do pretty well is when they release like an IMAX version of a movie, you typically can choose like, oh, I want to watch the IMAX version, or I want to watch the letterbox version, whatever you want. And I like having that choice, but the problem is like not many places are going to give you that choice. Netflix isn't. So I think
show me the original version.
Give me
the creeper version.
I know, right? I want the creeper version. Like I think I remember when Disney Plus first came out, Disney had gone through and edited a bunch of, like, not saying anything, like they didn't announce anything about this or anything, but certain movies on their platform were edited for content. Splash was one of them. So there was a shot where Daryl Hannah gets out of the water and you could see her butt, because she's,
like nude butt.
Yeah. Well, they extended her hair down digitally to cover it.
What?
Yeah. Another one that and because I watched these and I'm like, but Adventures in Babysitting is one of my favorite, like, childhood movies from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. Elizabeth Shue.
She's so hot.
Yeah, right. But it's the TV version of the movie. So all the language and stuff has been overdubbed with,
no way.
Right. It's right in the beginning. Obviously, a lot of it today in this, where we are, you're not going to call someone some of these names, but this is also a movie from the 80s. I feel like if you're going to edit it, at least give me the option to pick the version. That'd be like watching Beverly Hills Cop on TBS. You're going to get like half of the movie because every other word's going to be like, bleeped out or changed, or it just kind of bummed me out because I'm like, I love that movie, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna watch this because it's like turning something on, and I wanted to like kind of revisit it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go grab the Blu-ray. I ended up having to go grab the Blu-ray because I'm like, this is unwatchable to me. Because it's like their mouth is saying one thing and I know what they're saying, but like they've overdubbed it. I always think of there's a shot in the second Back to the Future when Marty's on the hoverboard and he's like being chased, through the central area by Griff, and Griff and his gang fly through the window, and because Marty's on the water and he jumps, like he drops down and he comes up, and the line is he looks at like all the stuff happening. He's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But the TNT or TBS version, he's like, holy geez. And it's just so abrupt and it sounds so stupid.
Yeah.
But it also made me laugh. There are some movies where I'm like, it's actually funnier in a non-intended way to watch it like this.
Yeah. I know. I remember growing up, we had the VHS of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and we watched that all the time. And I remember when we watched it with my girls on Disney Plus, they ended up bawling during the scene when Auntie dies.
Oh, Auntie, yeah.
Man, I wasn't expecting that. This was several years ago when we decided to do this. But I remember there's a line one of the brothers ends up saying where they say something and then his response is, blow it out your shorts. And on the Disney Plus version, he says, blow it out your ear. I'm like, how is blow it out your shorts like controversial, or how is that going to offend anyone?
Yeah.
Like, that would just threw me for a loop. I was like, that's.
And I can hear that, and I know it's Russ. I know Russ said that to his brother.
Yeah. Blow it out your shorts.
Blow it out your shorts. Yeah, that's definitely not like that on the Blu-ray. It's I think there's like supposed to be a 4K release, and I hope.
Oh yeah.
I get to an extent why they do it on Disney Plus, but at least announce it, or at least let me know that this is it's been modified from it's original version, so I know what I'm getting into, and not starting a movie and be like, I love this movie, and now it's not the movie that I watched.
Yeah.
It's been re-edited or edited for content.
Yeah. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Yeah. At the same time, give me the option to watch the original if I want it.
Well, also I think that they're and I don't know how possible this would be to do, but if you did have a version like that, let's say kids wanted to watch it and it's, there is some language in it. Mm-hmm. You have an edited version, but you have a child profile, then you only show those movies on the child profile, but the other the other adult versions, whatever you want to call it, unedited versions are on the adult profile.
Yeah.
The main profile. That would be a way to easily like differentiate between the two, but I would still say like, okay, this has been edited, you know, for content to, you know, make it more appealing to a younger audience, or like language has been taken out. Because there's, if you think about Adventures in Babysitting, there's a lot of kind of questionable things in that movie that at the time was geared towards kids, which now, I mean, yeah, I mean, we could get it. That's a whole, I think that's a whole topic for another day. But you know, watching like Bill and Ted recently, and there's some things in that movie that, you know, I know piss people off, but I'm also like, I don't think it needs to be changed. Like it's literally, I think when we start going back and changing things to make them more politically correct now, it's just like doing a disservice to, you know, the kind of the cultural impact of the movie, regardless of like if you agree with it or not. I mean, there are some things that it's just like, that's just totally wrong. And I'm not saying that they're not wrong, but it's like, that's like trying to rewrite history in a way. Like you're, you know, if we look at movies in that light where it's like, okay, it's a, you know, an old school, like this is, you know, how things were. It's like, I don't agree with it, but it's also like, okay, it is just a movie, but at the same time, it's like, we don't, like, nobody's being like physically hurt by this, mentally hurt by this. It's just, it is what it is. And also you're kind of changing the context of the movie. And I wanted to ask Jeff while he was here, I forgot about, you know, his thoughts on like James Cameron using AI on everything that he releases now. Remasters, you know, because, you know, now we're basically, you know, creating these versions of movies that are not the original. If we're editing them for content. And so there's like a revisionist side to it. You're kind of doing a James Cameron or pulling a George Lucas. They're like, well, I want, you know, this character in here. You know, he's just like laughing in the background, wearing his plaid shirt, orthopedic shoes, whatever. But I think, I really think that like, you know, as AI becomes more and more common, we're going to see a lot more automated kind of remasters, or, you know, an algorithm can go through the whole movie in you know, 30 seconds and take out words and replace them with other things. Like we already have like speech recognition and AI recognition, and a lot of the software that we use. I mean, heck, even on our phones, we could, you know, use like speech to text, and it's pretty accurate 99% of the time. You know, unless you're saying some kind of convoluted word or something. There's no reason why AI isn't going to catch up, and all of a sudden it's just going to be like, boom. Like we're now like fully automated to rewrite these movies in any way that we want. And I'm not here for that. Like, I don't want that to become a thing, you know?
I know, just the other day, just a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I just out of the blue randomly were like, you know what? We should watch Boondock Saints. It's been a long time since we've seen Boondock Saints. And man, there's some pretty racist stuff in that movie. And some questionable lines. Like there were a couple moments where I was just like, ooh boy, yeah, this was definitely released in a different time. But at the same time, it's just like a capsule in time. It's a part of history, and just let it be what it is. You don't need to change anything. Yes, it wouldn't fly to be made today. Absolutely not. But it's still a good movie. We still had a blast watching it because, you know, we knew a lot of the lines in it, and we're just quoting the lines as they're saying them. So like, yeah, we had a great time. But yeah, there's definitely some questionable stuff, but don't mess with it. Just leave it the way it is.
Yeah. It's so funny when because you and I agree on so many things, like so many movies and stuff. And then occasionally there'll be something where I'm like, I hated that movie. And Boondock Saints is one of those movies. And I think what happened was I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched a documentary about how they made it and how much of an asshole Troy Duffy is. And that made me hate the movie, watching how he treated everyone. And I'm like, I can't see it the same way again now.
Oh,
Like I can't just go,
man.
I can't watch it and go, oh, okay. And then I was amazed that they brought him back to make the second one. Like he burned so many bridges. Like at
Yeah.
the end of the documentary, he's like, basically he's gone back to being a bouncer at a bar because he burned all the bridges in Hollywood.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's it for this guy. Cause like he like literally had all of his like brothers and stuff move out to like LA
Yeah.
and just he's like, I'll pay you. I'll like make sure you guys are good. And then he's like, this is my movie. I don't care about you guys, you know? And like the things that he was saying, I was just like, this is unbelievable. It just kind of made me go, I don't really want to watch this movie again. You know, it's kind of like,
Hey, you know,
yeah,
maybe it's a good thing I
don't watch it
haven't watched it.
yeah, because you know, as same as you, I love behind the scenes stuff, and I love seeing how movies are made. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, maybe this will like eventually shed a positive light on this guy. And nope, it was all just he was just showed us true colors, and it was one of those things where it's like, you know, you can tell when a documentary is kind of swayed in a certain way.
Mhm.
You know, trying to portray someone as like this, you know, a certain way,
Mhm.
like evil or just kind of a jerk. No, this guy like was totally like that. And I mean, I've watched interviews with him from different people and different sources, and I'm like, this guy's so full of himself. Like he is, you know.
Which one was Jeff Duffy or
Troy Duffy? He was
Troy
the
Duffy?
director, writer, director. Yeah,
Oh,
he
he's
wrote
the
it.
director. Okay.
Yeah, he directed it as a Jiminy Glick reference, but Elijah Wood. But he wrote and directed it, and I can't remember what the documentary's called, but it was kind of eye opening to me, and I'm like, I don't want to support this guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to, you know, it's funny because like I think about it, and he had met with a bunch of different like kind of big wig studio guys, and Harvey Weinstein, you know, I think it ended up like buying the movie, so he's in the documentary. I'm like, this was before all the scandalous, you know, all the shit came out about him, and I'm like, oh, of course, like they got along really well, you know, kind of like, oh, one scumbag to another kind of thing. So I don't know. I think again, it's like you know, growing up, I liked certain Roman Polanski movies, but then reading more about the guy, I'm just like, ooh,
Right.
That guy movies anymore. Like this is, I mean, there's art, and then there's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I can't really watch the Cosby Show anymore. That doesn't sit right with me.
Right.
You know, it's like there's so much like, yeah. So anybody out there who enjoys movies, just don't watch behind the scenes. That's it. That's what I got. Just enjoy them. Try to see them for what they know. And we got really off topic with that one. We could just cut all that out. That's fine. Troy Duffy's going to sue me for stating my opinion.
He's got a bot that searches the web for anybody who mentions his name.
That's it.
I just got a notification. My name was said in a podcast.
Is there a movie that you think that is like universally loved that you're just like, why?
Oh,
do you have a movie that you're just like, I don't get the appeal of that? And I'm not talking about like, oh, everyone listens to Taylor Swift, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
I still don't understand. And I was rooting for this movie to do so well, and it did. It did very well. People loved it, and even in the box office, and even like I think physical media sales and whatever. The first Wonder Woman, the Zack Snyder Wonder Woman, like
that was Zack Snyder. I thought that was Catherine Bigelow.
That was, yeah. Well,
was it Catherine Bigelow?
Zack Snyder's Snyderverse.
Snyderverse, yeah.
But like, yeah, like everyone went so gaga over it, and I even listened to the What Went Wrong podcast episode about Wonder Woman, and again, and this was fairly recently. Their breakdown of that movie was, I don't know, maybe a month ago or maybe 2 months ago. And again, they were just going gaga over it, like how good it was and how they enjoyed watching it again for the podcast to research, whatever. And like, I remember when I've only seen it once, and I remember I was like, Gal Gadot is not a good actor.
No,
Like,
I would agree with that 100%. Yeah.
like I just, something about her, I was like, she's the weak link in this movie. Everyone else is great.
Yeah, Chris Pine.
Yeah, Chris
excellent.
Pine's character was awesome.
And it was Patty Jenkins who directed it, by the way, not Catherine Bigelow. I know someone watches is gonna be like, actually, I'm like, that's Patty Jenkins. I looked it up. As soon as I said Catherine Bigelow, I'm like, that's not right. I knew it. Anyway, but yeah, I agree with you. I didn't care for the movie personally.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't, what is everybody else seeing? Because I'm seeing this wooden actress trying to be Wonder Woman and not doing a very good job.
Also, the overly digital look to a lot of the effect shots, like of her, like CGI double when she's like, there's that scene where like she's attacking that town that they, you know, she like crashes through the window and it's like slow mo, and they would do like these quick like these shots, and then it would like slow mo to her again, and it was just like so obviously not her,
right?
And it just took me out of it. I remember watching it in the theater. We saw it in at a Dolby Cinema. And the sound was great, but I was just like,
yeah.
Like I saw her in the Fast and Furious. That was like my first introduction to Gal Gadot, and I just kind of didn't get it. Like, I'm not saying like she's a bad person or anything. I just don't think that I've not seen her have any range. Like, there are a lot of actors. What's funny is, you know, someone like you know, Florence Pugh. I've seen her in a ton of stuff, and I'm like, she's amazing. You know, we going back to like Kate Winslet. Like, I've seen her go from like romantic comedies to like these hardcore dramas, and it's like she just nails it.
Yeah,
you know, phenomenal. And it's like Gal Gadot just doesn't have that range.
No,
you know, and unfortunately, and there are some people that, I mean, even someone like a comedic actress like Kristen Wiig. I've seen her in drama stuff, and I'm like, she's really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, and so like it's that I mentioned her because she's in the second Wonder Woman, 1984.
Right. I never saw that one.
Yeah, she was in like Skeleton Twins with Bill Hader.
Right.
I absolutely love Bill Hader. And you know, but she's also, you know, Bridesmaids, and one of my movies that my wife has let me know she's never watched, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, the Ben Stiller movie.
I love that movie.
Need to watch this. Like,
yeah,
she's like, it's a remake. I was like, technically, yes. Danny Kaye, you know, made the original, or he was in the original. It was like 1947. One of my favorite classic films. But yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, that I totally get the Wonder Woman vibe, because it was around that time where everyone was kind of going bonkers for it. And
I think everyone just wanted that movie to succeed so much, because leading up to it, it was just, you know, dude bros fighting other dude bros, and Man of Steel, and, you know, all Batman and whatever. So I think people were just like craving a woman superhero,
strong.
Yeah. And I think that just clouded everyone's judgment, or I don't know. I don't know, because all I saw was something that was not working to me personally.
Well, also when you surround her with like actors that even like not just like, you know, the male actors or anything like that, but like Connie Nelson is in it. She plays, I can't remember her character's name, but like she's in it, and like she is such a like an experienced actor. She's been in a ton of stuff. One of my favorite more recent movies that she was in was Nobody, which is like, if you haven't seen Nobody with Saul Goodman.
I have not.
Bob Odenkirk.
Oh no, that's right. I've seen the first one.
They just came out with a sequel. Yeah. Excellent movie. But when you surround someone who's not, either doesn't have the chops or just isn't as experienced, you stick out like a sore thumb. And I think like I'm not sure, like, because I don't feel like the script was terrible, but I just don't feel like she didn't really have a ton of emotion there for it, you know. Yeah. So I think, yeah, if I had to pick a movie that was like a movie that just everybody seems to love, that I just like I never got, like I watched it and I was like, I didn't like this. Scarface. I just didn't get sucked into it. I was like this, like, and again, like I love 80s cinema, but man, there's just something like about it. I'm like, I don't want to watch this ever again. And I've watched Goodfellas like 10 times. Like I love Goodfellas, you know, but there are also certain Martin Scorsese movies that I can't watch more than once. Like they're too heavy, you know, sometimes like movies can be a bit too heavy. Like Requiem for a Dream, I'm never going to see again.
Nope. Me neither.
No thanks. One and done with that one.
I saw it in high school and I was like,
yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That was crazy, but don't need to see it again.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go for Christopher Walken there for a second. He was crazy.
Requiem
for a Dream. It's going to go like loud and then low. But,
yeah.
Anyway.
I have not seen Scarface. That's one of the classics I have not sat down to watch.
I feel as like a film kind of buff, film snob, whatever you want to call it. Like you should see it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, true.
I've only seen 2 of the Godfather movies and I haven't seen the 3rd. So that's on my bucket list. And it took me years to watch like Apocalypse Now, which I'm still like, okay, like I see what it did, but I'm like, I'm not going to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
You know, Saigon.
I haven't seen Citizen Kane, you know, like
I gotta go. No.
Sorry.
We keep going back. We're just gonna start talking about the Wizard of Oz at Sphere in Vegas, which is the hot thing right now. And I'm just like watching clips of it going, what in the AI thing? This thing did. There are like parts of it where I'm like, that's cool. And there are other parts like, did they really just what?
Yeah.
What? I watched a thing like 4 months ago about how they're creating it, and I was just like, "This isn't going to do anything." And then 4 months later, it's exploded. Like everybody's talking about it, and I just watched it going, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow, that's neat what they're doing. That okay." And then now it's just like this big like phenomenon, and it's like $200 or $300 a ticket or something like that. Something crazy to go see it. Yeah, I think I looked it up because I thought it was probably like 80 or 90. I think it's triple that because it's Vegas.
But they can, they can fit so many people in that venue, can't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Dude, if that's true, if it really costs that much per ticket, that's absurd.
And they won't let you take those fake apples home either. I found that out.
Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather just like let me watch it at home. I'm not the biggest Wizard of Oz fan, but it is a classic.
The thing that I don't like about, at least what I've seen with the clips I've seen about Wizard of Oz, is that it wasn't just like a set extension. They've literally like changed things.
Yeah.
Just put stuff in, altered things that shouldn't have been altered. Because like my friend Bo down in Southern California, I convinced him and his wife to go see this new like 4D kind of Matrix experience. It's kind of like the Sphere, where it's just this venue where it's like basically 180 degrees.
It's almost like an IMAX, we have one here that's like a Mosey in Tampa, and it basically the screen kind of wraps around you, not full 180 degrees, but close.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty much like your entire peripheral vision is taken up by this, and above you as well. So it's like just this crazy screen, but you still have the Matrix playing in widescreen, but they have just extended what you see to then wrap around you. So it's not
I've
like
seen clips of this.
it's
Yes.
not like they're altering what happens in the actual movie. They're just extending it. So I can get behind that.
Yeah, it's almost like a more advanced, like the lights that people get for their TV that sync to the action that's on the screen.
Right.
It's like a far more advanced version of that, where it's actual like imagery.
Right.
But it's the same kind of idea. It's like you're not like you're enveloped in this thing, but they're not digitally, or they're not altering the original content at all. It's like you're watching the movie. Whereas like in The Wizard of Oz, they've taken they've literally changed things. They've extended certain things. Like one of the things that the little 6-minute documentary was talking about is how like you'd have characters that walk off the screen. Well, now you have this massive, like, okay, where do they go?
Yeah.
And they use AI to figure that out. And so they like digitally had the actors perform, even if it's just like walking. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. And they're like, it's really advanced. It's like, okay, what was their motivation? Like, what was their thought process? What were their mood in the scene? Are they suspicious? Are they, and I'm like, oh, that's great. But I'm like, I don't really like, I'm paying a premium price for this like experience that has been altered to the nth degree, basically.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal in the documentary about, sorry, I was just going to say this real quick. They made a big deal in the documentary about how they extended like shots, like from like on the bottom, so you can actually see feet and stuff, like in shots where you can't see their feet.
No way.
So like they've added like, the ruby slippers or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are certain shots I've seen from this thing. It's like they didn't do that for every shot. They only did it for like a select few. But then others were like they're walking up to like closer to the camera. It's like that just cuts them off, and it's this weird thing where like Dorothy is like from like here up with all of it's just like, if anybody's gone to film school or watched movies, we know like you learn about headroom and how like too much headroom is like, okay, like there's like just this massive amount of space on top. It's like, that's cool. But I'm like, I'm getting nothing here. Like this feels so weird and wrong.
Right.
So it'd be like if either like me or you tilted the camera up so you could see like from here up, and it's like nothing is up here that you really need to see. It's like, what's the point of that? What am I getting out of this that I'm not getting?
Right.
From the regular movie.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
And like I remember seeing some shots where like it's kind of this gray muted sky in the original, and then for whatever reason they decided to do sky replacement, and now it's this beautiful blue sky with white clouds and stuff, and it's like, I mean, you didn't have to do that.
Like, I mean, I think of Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park.
Right.
You're so busy, thinking like, I can't remember the exact line, but it's like, you're busy thinking what you could do, but like what you should do or something like that. Like, where it's like, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Your scientists were so preoccupied with if they could that they didn't think about if they should, or something like that.
Yeah. And it's like, just because you can do it, why did you do it? Like, why?
That line, well, obviously I can't remember it verbatim, but just the essence of that line pops into my head so often nowadays because of the bullshit that's happening with just entertainment and art in general. It's like, good gracious, I don't get it.
Yeah. And I constantly, like, I have family members. I mean, my wife, she draws a lot. She started a YouTube channel. My in-laws, they're like amazing artists. And we talk a lot about AI, and it's like, okay, like there's no such thing as an AI artist. You're typing prompts into a thing and you're creating you're not even creating it. It's just pulling from a bunch of different sources.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want AI to do like the stuff I don't want to do. Like I want it to, proofread scripts. I want it to make spreadsheets for me, or, tell me when my laundry's done. I don't need it to create something for me, like, even like, I think using it as a tool in a way where it's like, okay, I can use AI to instantly mask around an object in Photoshop. That's great, because otherwise it's going to take you 10 years. But you're not digitally altering the content using AI. You're just saying, hey, let AI look at the edges of this object. And then, this is something that I would have done manually and it would have taken me hours.
Right.
But I'm using it as a tool, and not like, I'm not using it. I'm not typing something in, like, put a TV here and, do whatever with the TV.
Right.
Or like, put a giant speaker that's the size of my head next to my face. It's like, you're not asking it to do that.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, it's helping me create something
more efficiently.
But it's not, I'm still the one creating.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like I'm the one that's like manipulating the thing. It's like, okay, I shot this background and I shot this separately, and I want to combine the two. Okay, like, I'm doing that. It's 99% me. I'm just using AI to mask, like, to figure out the mask. I think that is completely fine to automate those types of processes, or upscale content from a low resolution. That's really, really helpful.
Right.
To like have it look good. I mean, I use it all the time in video games. But like even something like Topaz, which I'm sure you've heard of, using it to upscale, like, like Topaz Labs, I think it's called Gigapixel or something like that.
Yep.
Where it's like, literally you could take let's say a 1080p screenshot or a 1080p frame or image, and upscale it to 4K or 8K or whatever. Or even you can do it with like traditional photos. So say you have like a 12 megapixel photo, you could up it to 36. And most of the time it gets most of the things like really, really dead on, unless you have like some kind of crazy movement in there. I've used it on like thumbnails and stuff too. Because a lot of the things that I'll do for like Audioholic, sometimes I'll get images that aren't necessarily the best quality, like either from a vendor or a brand, or sometimes it's something that Gene sends me and it's like compressed and it's small. So I'll use that to clean it up. But I'm always looking at it going, okay, this doesn't look right. And if I can't, I'll just use the original. Like if I can't get it to look right, I'll use the original and just be like, well, it is what it is. This is what you provided me.
Yeah.
Most of the time I try to clean it up a little bit, and that really helps in that instance, but I'm not creating an entire image based off of nothing. It's literally looking at what's there and filling in the gaps, which is something that's been done years, even prior to AI. It's just a more efficient way of doing it.
Yeah, I'm totally behind AI when it comes to just being more efficient.
Yeah.
And just helping your workflow and being able to do stuff a little bit quicker. But yeah, just to create something from nothing just by typing in some words, though. Ugh.
Oh, I know. And it's great for like writing emails and stuff. If you like write something out, you're like, I want to make this sound more professional or more friendly. It's like it does a great job of that instead of you rewriting the whole thing. But you've created the base for it. Like you've created that, and it's only going off of that. It's not pulling from 1,200 different sources to make a face or a hand or a background. It's this is really off topic for what we're talking about, but it is something that I think a lot of people, like artists in general, like a lot of people are like, well, I'm an AI artist. It's like, dude, no,
you're not.
I have a real issue with that.
Yeah.
So as an artist, and I make content, but I always, it's like we talked about content, and it's really one of those things where it's like, I mean, we both make content, but you and I both try to put a lot of thought into our content. We don't just like hit record and be like, well, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be,
or chasing a trend
or and maybe that prevents us from growing,
I guess.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to do TikTok. I'm not going to do TikTok. I hate TikTok.
Mhm.
You know, I just don't like it. I don't like the interface. I don't like anything about it. So it's like, I don't want to create something on there, but I know that I could if I wanted to. I just don't want to, you know?
Yeah.
And if that limits my growth, then, you know, okay. Like, it's really a hard thing to deal with as a person and as a trying to make it, you know, it's like,
well, it is hard to deal with as a person or as a content creator or as just an artist or creator in general, seeing these other accounts that have almost no talent whatsoever have millions of subscribers or followers
yeah.
because they are chasing algorithms and chasing trends and just being able to crack the algorithm by doing dumb stuff
Oh yeah.
with
Yeah.
no artistic intention behind it at all. It drives me nuts because I'm like, well, yeah, sure, I could do that, but I'm not going to because
Yeah.
I'm not going to stoop that low.
It's really, you know, it's something that like, it's always going to be a struggle. And I'm like, not here. Like, I mean, yeah, we're complaining about it, but I'm like, you know, people have really, really difficult jobs out there, you know, and every job, there's no perfect job. There's no like, there's always going to be something, you know, like even, you know, being I remember growing up thinking about like, I want to be in business for myself and not work for like a company or something. And like, I'm a freelance creator. I'm a freelance videographer and an editor and stuff. And that's what I do. But man, there's a whole other level of stress that comes along with that. You know, like there's just something you don't think about as a kid, but it's like, I don't want a boss. Well, now you are your own boss. And like, you're the, like, you got to make sure that like you're doing enough work for that month and, you know, or whatever. And it is difficult, but there's just no perfect job. I mean, I enjoy most aspects of what I do, and I think you do too. But there are some aspects that I'm like, let AI do this part. Like, let AI write the descriptions of my videos because I don't want to do that. You know,
AI can be my intern.
right? Answer the comments, AI. I enjoy your insight. That is hilarious. Like,
you are so funny.
Right. This guy just told me his dog died. I have never laughed so hard in my life, you know. Like, oh, just how Brad got canceled in a moment. In a moment. But anyway, yeah, I'm off my soapbox now. Thanks for coming to my Brad talk. And
yes,
it's how full of myself I am.
Well, I mean, honestly, we're coming up about 2 hours anyway. So
yeah, you can cut all this down, right? You're just gonna chop it up into little pieces, and some guy's gonna comment and be like, "Yeah, should you guys like falling all over each other or something?" Whatever. I don't know what that means, but
me neither.
Go for it, guy.
But somebody will.
Somebody will. Well, this has been fun. I feel like we're like took a trip down memory lane as well with the Eyes and Ears.
I know, right?
Podcast that we stopped doing, and now we're doing it one last time.
I know. Should I even put it on?
I would. Fuck
Podbean.
Do it. Just do it. Why not? Just you know what? Just be like an unofficial Eyes and Ears podcast. I can't even get the name right. That's how long it's been. I swear I've not had that much to drink tonight.
Sure.
Just one of these little simply spiked, sponsored, but this is not sponsored, by the way. But simply, if you want to send us some, I know Elon doesn't really drink, but I'll take it. Yep.
Well, anyway. This we might make this like a premiere or something, so we can comment as it's happening. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But thanks for watching, whoever is sticking around till the end. But yeah,
thank you. Sorry, I haven't posted anything lately. I'm working on it. Just been busy.
Oh man, me too. I've been busy with stuff outside of my own YouTube channel.
You've been doing a lot of acoustic stuff, right? Like you've been
kind of still doing acoustically speaking once a week, and some other stuff beyond that that I'm making real dollars for, and with.
Yeah.
So
that's what's hard.
That takes priority. If
that does when
if somebody's paying me to do it, then that comes first.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I've been. Wait, so like you're working with acoustics. Would you say Audioholics is like a competitor to acoustics? Are we in competition?
I mean, kind of, because they're both
doing the same
online
thing,
publications talking about the same stuff. But I mean,
I just uncovered
the owners of both companies are they know each other, and I'm sure they're good buddies. I have no idea actually if they're buddies. But they know of each other. That's for sure.
About Brian, so that's all I know. Gene's only said good things about Brian.
Yeah, and Gene and I had a good conversation at Audio Advice Live. Shook his hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Shot the shit for a little bit. So
where you're like, "Where's Brad? Yeah. Where's your better half?" No, your better half. Like we're married.
Where's your better half videographer guy?
Yeah. But anyhow.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. And I have no idea if when we'll put on another one, but I hope we do that, because I'm hoping to get more interviews like that, where it's actually somebody with us, a guest that we can talk about stuff. So fingers crossed we can start doing more of that.
Fingers crossed. Maybe I can coax Gene into coming on.
What?
I think I can maybe do it. Yeah. We'll have to give him some money. He doesn't do. No, I'm just kidding. I'll talk to him about it. We'll see. It'd be fun to have him on.
$500 fee.
That's it.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching and listening.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Bye.
Bye.